Right, I'm going to find my vanishing points on my horizon line. I'm going to take lines from the stationary point, going up to the picture plane, and down to the horizon line, giving me left-hand vanishing point. Remember to label that, you get marks for that. Take a line going from your stationary point, going up to the horizon line. Drop that down to get my right-hand vanishing point on your horizon line. Right. Up to picture plane, down to horizon line. Up to picture plane, down to horizon line. Right, once I've got that, start with that point down at the bottom, comes across, it hits the point on this vertical line over here on the ground line. I'm going to take a line going back to the vanishing point over here. All right, so I'm going to just concentrate on this front view over here. I want to find the height of this front view. I'm going to take a line going across to that vertical line and going back to the vanishing point. You can see that that corner over there is touching the picture plane. This is very important. It touches the picture plane, therefore I can see that it's on that ground line right at the front, and I can darken in that line right away. Right. Okay, once I've got that, I'm going to find that corner further back over there. How do I do that? I take a line going from that corner down to the stationary point. Where it cuts over the picture plane, I drop a line down. And I get these 2 points over here, one at the top, one at the bottom. And I can join that in straight away. All right, this part over here, how am I going to find that? Because it is not on this edge over here. All right, it is not on this edge, it is further back. So, how I find that? I must take lines going until it touches that edge. Can you see that little line that I drew there? Another little line going across until it touches that little edge over there. I then take that, I drop that down to the stationary point where it cuts the picture plane, and this one as well. Taking that down until it touches the picture plane. Those two lines going off to the stationary point. Take that down until it touches the edge of the object. Take that down until it touches the edge of the object. Right, you can see this line going backwards. All right, so if I've got a line going backwards, I'm going to take a line backwards towards right-hand vanishing point. And a line going back to right-hand vanishing point. Right, on those two lines, I can now find these 2 points over here. How do I do that? I take a line from that point over there, take that down to picture plane, drop that down, there is that point at the bottom. Let's find the one at the top as well. How am I going to do that? I'm going to take a line going across to the vertical line over here. Remember that line? That vertical line is where we get all our heights from. I take that across to left-hand vanishing point. You can see that it cuts it over there. I then take that back. There's that line going back. There's the line going back to vanishing point. and I now have the point at the bottom and the point at the top. I can now join that in. All right. Take my line back from this top point over here that we found. I can now take this, going back to left-hand vanishing point. Take that back to left-hand vanishing point, and I can draw a vertical line going up over here. Right, can you see how that is removed backwards? Okay, I now need to find the corners going back on these things, so that's easy enough. I've got these lines traveling back already. I need to take lines from that corner down to there, and then drop a vertical line down. There it is, top and bottom. There it is, there it is. Once I've got that corner, I can take a line back to left-hand vanishing point. Once I've got that, you can see that little block forming over there. Once I've got that stuff in the middle, I need to do the base of it. I'm going to take lines going back to right-hand vanishing point there. Line going back to the right-hand vanishing point over there. I need to find that back corner. Take it down to stationary point, where it cuts over the picture plane. Drop a line down, and there's my back corner. Draw that in. Draw that in. I've now got a line going back. There it is, going back to the vanishing point over here. I know that this part over here I can darken in straight away. I need to find that back corner. There's that corner over there. It's going back. There it is, going back. So I must go back to right-hand vanishing. And there's the object done.